of the proceedings further. So without wasting time, let me go through and look back quickly of what 10 years of TRG journey has been. Of course, we look at the evolution of TRG. It was a collective effort of several transportation professionals from leading institutions in the country, and the very initial discussion was held among selected colleagues, who attended from Indian institutions and also from US during the first Indo-US Symposium on Advances in Mass Transit and Travel Behavior Research that happened at IIT Guwahati between 12th to 15th Feb 2008. And I'm, among our distinguished speakers, many of them were, of course, a part of this Indo-US Symposium. I'm sure they will remember it very well. And this meeting was held, if you recall, on 13th Feb 2008 at 7 p.m. in the conference room of IIT Guwahati Guest House. A very nice guest house that actually created the best and most apt surrounding or environment to discuss such an important topic. And that's where the idea of TRG was born. We had 12 learned colleagues who attended this meeting from 7 older IITs. We still have the formal minutes of this meeting that we have archived. However, of course, every effort goes through its teething period. And we have seen that for almost 3 years with ups and downs. Eventually, the momentum again picked up in 2010, and the establishment of TRG was announced in December 2010. And then during the process, we eventually got registered as a society on 28th May 2011, which is now remembered and celebrated as the Foundation Day of TRG. When we look back, what was the goal with which we started? The whole mission of TRG was to aid India's overall growth through focused transportation research, education, and policies in the country. And among the objectives to achieve this goal was to conduct a regular peer-reviewed international conference, when we'll see how well and how successful we have been in achieving this, to publish a peer-reviewed journal of good international standard that specifically focuses on challenging issues of developing countries and economies. And we have seen how tight our official journal of TRG has progressed. And of course, to also do other focused activities, we'll see the journey, how well we have done these activities also, and to collaborate with other national and international societies and organizations in a manner that work towards fulfilling the mission and vision of the society. And you would see that we have been largely, successful. There's still a scope to improve this, but we have been able to garner a lot of support from various national and international societies. Due credit to the two executive boards that we have seen in the past, the founding executive board and its members. I think they play an important role in how this whole baby was born and nurtured by the founding board, and then the current outgoing executive board. I'm so grateful and thankful to all the board members and their support and their belief, which has really sailed TRG through this 10-year journey and helped us succeed in many ways in achieving the original objectives and goals of TRG. Just a chronology of activities. We started with first TRG in Bangalore in Taj Guanta, December 7th to 10th. That's where we started with a bang, and what a success it was. Since then, we have been doing focused activities on various specific topics, not just oriented to academic discussions, but also partnering with practitioners on various aspects. Among these important one was High Speed Rail Symposium that we did in Mysore. I still remember our highlight of this symposium, Professor Raghuram's presence and his speech that was really very insightful. And likewise, we have also represented India and TRG at forums like WCTR, and also the annual meetings of ATPIO, where we have talked about how and what kind of activities TRG is doing. Second CTRG was held in Agra in the summer 12 to 15, and likewise, the other important milestone that we had was the formal launch of our official journal, Transportation Developing Economies Tide, on 10th of October 2014. and this was organized at the Department of Civil Engineering, IIT Delhi. Since then, right from beginning, this journal is being published by Springer. We also did a conference in IIC campus on airport development in 2015, and then other activities, the CTRGs third, fourth, and fifth, and the sixth one that will happen this year in December, hosted by NIT Trichy. In between, of course, after fourth CTRG, we took a major step of starting bidding process for CTRG after the fourth CTRG, and which has kind of been very successful and has helped us mature the process of finding the host and the place. We also established 9 technical committees of TRG. We call it as TCTs with effect from 20th June 2019. This is another major step that we took. And even during pandemic, we did a marathon TRG webinar series and arranged 40 excellent webinars during May and July 2020 to keep our community engaged during those difficult period of the first lockdown. Brief about our TRG's official journal Tide. So far we have come up with 7 volumes and 2 issues per year. Each issue has been carrying on an average about 10 to 15 articles. So it has been quite a steady progress for the journal, and it is now indexed in various indexing list and is progressing well. I still remember Dr. Gangopadhyay, being our guest to formally announce and launch this journal at the function that we had at IIT Delhi. This was the glimpse from the Speed Rail Symposium, a very successful one we did at Mysore. I still remember Dr. Murthy Bondada also attended this symposium and traveled all the way from US for the same. When you look at CTRG, you can see we have done a full circle, and we have ensured that this conference goes across the country and is owned by different institutions across different regions of the country. That has been really a best part of how we have organized and handled the conference. The 6th one is now going to happen this year in Trichy. First one, right from first one, we had international bodies and leading government organizations and industry partners supporting the conference financially and non-financially, and excellent set of keynote speakers. Most of them are here in today's function also, joining us and helping us. Likewise, so this was the venue of the first CTRG and some of the glimpses. Professor Chandrabhat, you can still remember, you still look the same, I would say. Second CTRG was in Agra in Hotel Jaipi Palace, hosted by IIT Kanpur, and of course, supported by CRRI, TRB, ATPI and other bodies, with gamut of industry and government organizations, supporting it. Again, very well attended by top-notch speakers, including Professor B.B. Pan, who has always been a strong supporter of has been helping us. This was the venue of second CTRG and some of the glimpses from second CTRG. Third CTRG again was in Kolkata, jointly done by IIT Kharagpur and Guwahati, Bhargav Maitra and Akhilesh. And this version we also had support from Eastern Asia Society of Transport Studies, a wonderful venue, Lalit Great Eastern, and very good attendance by various government officials and government organizations of government of West Bengal as well, and a battery of top speakers that attended the conference. This was the third CTRG venue. Some of the glimpses of third CTRG. Fourth CTRG was at IIT Bombay at the Victor Manus Convention Center, together with SVN IIT Surat, Professor Joshi and Dr. Srinivas Arpatkar, along with the IIT Bombay team, Tom V. Matthew and Velaga. and a battery of speakers, which has been always been a strength of this conference. I still remember also Professor Gram joining us, and this as one of the keynote speakers. Uh, these are some of the glimpses. Poster sessions have always been a success story of these CTRGs and have been well received and well attended and appreciated. It's been a great success that we have brought poster sessions as equally attractive to oral presentations. Glimpses. Fifth CTRG again was a great success in December 2019. Manit Bhopal really did excellent organization of this conference, and again with very well supported and sponsored by various government and private industries, and that came together, and a good set of very good set of keynote speakers that we had. It was a heritage hotel and wonderful venue. These are some of the glimpses of the fifth CTRG. Yeah. Now, of course, sixth CTRG is on the card, and we are hopeful that the situation as it improves, we should be able to deliver a good physical conference by December. And I really invite and encourage all of you to be part of it as much as possible. Uh, Summarizing the highlights of these CTRGs, we have done 5 conferences. 6th one is going to happen this year in 2021, and it covers full domain of transportation. And we have seen a consistent participation of 300, 400 delegates from 12, 15 countries. And now it has literally become a pilgrimage for transportation professionals in India, just like TRB in the United States. And we typically now have more than 200 double-blind peer-reviewed technical papers that is getting presented in each conference, and it also brings a wide variety of other flavors, including keynote speeches, executive courses, technical tours, special sessions, workshops, etc. And yeah, we have consciously maintained that there is no difference of quality between oral and poster presentation to really make both of them very attractive. And we have also been partnering with Tide and few other journals along with index proceedings to help and bring some quality publications out of the conference. And yeah, the most important thing, we have kind of maintained this as a no frills conference, focus on high technical standards and a very high standard of location as well as facilities. So if I summarize the achievements in 10 years, what TRG could do in my understanding and opinion, we started both the regular peer-reviewed research conference and a peer-reviewed international journal. These were the 2 main objectives. I think we have really progressed very well with that. We have also now established the standing technical committees of TRG. We call them as TCTs. We have managed support and association with major national and international transportation research related bodies, which has been a great success. Improved networking. I have really personally seen how well and how much colleagues in the country are now able to network and collaborate with each other among different institutions, which was not so much earlier. And a lot of other focused activities. And yes, we have represented TRG and transportation research activities in India at various international forums like WCTR, ATPIO, and so on. Aspects to improve on, from my understanding, of course, I think our membership has steadily improved, but there is still a good scope. We have about 160, members presently, but this can really improve. We of course need to improve the financial support from various entities to sustain the activities of TRG. But yes, even today also we have kind of financially stabilized ourselves. We have seen some difficult times, initially, but we have managed and sailed through with the collective wisdom and effort of the executive boards, both the executive boards that have functioned in the last 10 years. Yes, improving collaboration and engagement with government and private organizations for various activities of TRG is something that we can definitely, improve. We should also embark on developing guidelines and standards wherever there are gaps. Not really duplication of something that has been already done, but where we see a value of doing it. Yes, we have managed our secretariat with meager resources. I think one of the tasks should be to look at developing a permanent secretariat office and support staff to manage the administrative work and support various activities of TRG. Yes, contributing to the nation building through our collective expertise in our subject domain of transportation. I think we can really influence much more than what we have been able to achieve so far. So if I look at my vision for TRG's future, should eventually become advisor to nation in every aspect and domain of transportation. I think that's where we should really aim to. And through its collective wisdom and activities, TRG should guide the innovation, research, capacity building in the country in the full domain of transportation. Taking the lead, TRG should act as a platform not just for India, but also for developing economies. We have at least done partially by establishing our journal that focuses on issues of not just India, but all developing economies. And yes, TRG should provide good decision support to various government programs related to transportation and engage with government agencies in this regard at all levels. So let's work together to make this vision a reality soon. My best wishes to the new executive board of TRG. Thank you and Jai Hind.